Good afternoon, everyone. Well, before I begin, I'd just like to acknowledge my wonderful mother who is sitting right there. Hi, Ma. Anyways, as you may all know, it is Mother's Day today. And I'd like to acknowledge all of the wonderful mothers out there. But, well, let's face it, our moms can sometimes be a little, well, let's just say unique. For instance, whenever I'm doing something, despite my best efforts to keep it a secret, my mom somehow always manages to find out what I'm up to. It's like she's always a step ahead of me, almost as if she was born with a spider sense, mother sense. Anyways, despite all of the unique quirks and all the funny moments, we love our moms with all our hearts. So to all the mothers out there, thank you for everything you do, even if you drive us a little crazy sometimes. Anyways, my topic for today is use case methodology. So, in the picture on the left, I just recently celebrated my 15th birthday with my pals. We all share similar interests like maths, science, and digital technology. And this can be really useful for validating my ideas. But another way to do this is by using use case methodology to generate some crazy and original concepts. In my recent project, which is a facial feature detection program, as you can see on the video on the right, that I've come up with using use cases. And if I have to be honest, this was partly intended to counter my mom's spider sense. So, I'm sure many of you have read sci-fi stories, like books or movies that you may have watched or read. Well, you may have read some of these sci-fi scenarios, like cryogenics or teleportation, that may seem improbable or even impossible. Or are they? Well, you may be shocked to find out how many of these sci-fi stories depict technologies that could become true in the near future or are already actually in use today. But just imagine if we could connect all of these disparate technologies into one unified ecosystem in which machines, artificial intelligence, robots, and many more new technologies could come together and work seamlessly to accomplish amazing things. Well, this idea may seem far-fetched. Some experts are actually already actively researching this. However, this idea wasn't really easy to come up with. It required the integration of various fields like computer science, biology, mechatronics, neuroscience, and many more. Well, for this, we're going to also need the brilliant minds of people who dare to imagine a world beyond what we currently know. As time goes on, we can shape this emerging technological landscape and turn science fiction into science fact. Now, most of you might wonder why, when you come up with an idea or when you're working on a project, you may start by asking yourself the question, what do I want to do? While this is an important question, it can sometimes lead us down a path that does not truly benefit the world. For this, we need to ask more fundamental questions, like why or how. As Simon Sinek emphasized in his TED Talk, the golden circle of why, how, and what can help us achieve greater success. But, well, sometimes asking why isn't always easy. We may struggle to formulate a clear idea on what questions we want to ask. Well, for this, we're going to need a tool that can help us ask the right whys. Now, for example, if we're talking about something like law enforcement, we could ask ourselves the question, why would this be useful? Why would this matter if we implemented this approach? Now, let me give you an example from my experience. While I was researching a project, I started by asking myself what I wanted to do, and I searched based on my own interests. While this gave me some interesting results, it seemed normal at first as I started searching about robotics, and then it slowly devolved into things like the latest AI technology. Well, I hadn't noticed it. I've fallen into one of the most common traps, one of the most common setbacks to developing and researching new ideas. I've fallen into a rabbit hole. All of this sifting through endless search results was exhausting, and I lost all sense of direction or purpose. Truth is, we don't need to continue in this cycle. By maintaining our attention on what matters and keeping our direction, we can prevent falling into this. Well, what does this all have to do with use cases? Well, use cases describe specific scenarios in which a product or service may be used. This can be useful for highlighting user needs, and this also helps us in asking the right whys. By starting from what we want to accomplish, why we can implement this, and asking all of these questions, we can start from what our purpose is. This can help us ask the right questions and also show us what we are truly supposed to work on. This is also very helpful for identifying opportunities for innovation. Well, here's an example. Say there's a fire in a burning building and there are survivors trapped. Let's say the firefighters are struggling. Well, an example of a solution to this is we could use heat-seeking drones to see through the dense smoke and identify the survivors, and heat-proof robots that could help and rescue them, or even put out the fire themselves. Well, as you can see, all of this is pretty useful. It can help us identify user needs and wants, and this can let us truly resonate and deliver value with our users. Now, just imagine if we implemented this in the education system. We could inspire students to use this for their projects and assignments, and we could foster a new era of creativity and innovation. Well, all good projects requires someone to validate them, and so I got the help of Dr. Yu-Chen Liu, a renowned expert in industrial artificial intelligence and an experienced R&D professional. Some of his projects include human-centric human-robot collaboration and a smart manufacturing system. Now, using all of this, I came up with a concept which is called omnitronics. Omni comes from the prefix meaning all, and tronics is derived from electronics. Therefore, this is the ecosystem which combines many of these new electronic technologies. Now, I came up with this using use cases which helped me to identify the real-world scenarios and opportunities to improve it. It helped me look at the different industries and ask questions like, why is this useful and how could I implement this? Now, here are a couple examples. Firstly, let's take the fire example from earlier. But what if the fire was at the top story of a skyscraper? And in the city, and in the heart of the city? Well, we could use many technologies, like we could take some drones from a nearby police station or construction robots. Now, these technologies are separate, but this helps to combine them, and they work together to accomplish one single goal. Another example is, say we have a high-speed car chase, but police are low on resources. We could have the police call for nearby drones that can identify the criminal's current location, and even autonomous vehicles paired with artificial intelligence robots that can block off escape routes or even surround and arrest the criminal themselves. Now, what does this all mean? Well, with the use of use cases, we can do all of this, and we can easily focus on the different user needs and wants. Now, implementing this into the education system could help foster creativity and innovation in education. And we could shift the current world to one with new technologies and everything we need. This could benefit society as a whole, including students, teachers, parents, and anyone at large. Thank you.